Lucien! Lucien! Come on! Emilie! Emilie! My brother.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sylvain.
No, no, that's not...
Whoa, why the rush? Did something happen?
What? Edgar? He's the most famous perfumer in the region.
Sheriff, have you received any reports of a suspicious...
No, but we've got eyes all over I'll start gathering my forces.
What about you, Tighnari?
I'm sure the sheriff can handle things over...
But she said she...
Then she was far too modest. She may not be a doctor by trade, but she has a deeper understanding of human anatomy, not to mention the fact that Mr. Edgar's condition is real. As for me, I'll head to the academia and...
Oh, that's right! Vijava was supposed to be a scholar from
From Emilie's letter, certainly, but that was the first time I'd heard of it. I didn't have time to look into it earlier, but now it seems like I have friends in Sumeru City that can help me investigate. With any luck, I'll leave you and Emilie to watch over things here in Port Ormos.
Well, it's been a day. Wonder if Tighnari's discovered anything. But things weren't looking good with Emilie's master yesterday. We should check on things at the hotel first. Emilie!
No longer in critical condition, thankfully. My chemical analysis of a goose also... I was able to identify the components...
Elemental energy?
Hard to say. It was such a minute amount, I had to use one of the newest tests developed in recent years. Unless you were abnormally sensitive to elemental energy, I doubt it. As for whether Master's condition was caused by the elemental energy present...
Oh, that reminds Paimon. Did Tighnari come...
I received a message from him last night, but I haven't heard anything since. The message said...
Oh, Paimon thought he might have... excuse me? Is Miss Emilie here? Oh, perfect! Familiar faces! Traveler!
Colin. Oh, of course. Tighnari's a... And please, no need for formalities.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you too, Miss, Emilie. Did Tighnari send you here? Yep. Master and the others went through decades worth of records last night, and still haven't had a chance to Anyway, based on what they've reviewed so far, they believe Master considered that possibility as well. But the name wasn't the... How is that possible?
It's starting to seem very likely. If we want to...
Hey! Lucien!
It's Sylvain! Wait, you don't think Kirio came back?
That seems impossible. If someone came in or out of the hotel... It's locked?
There's no one here.
Lucien! Lucien!
That's Sylvain's...
Lucien! Lucien! Come on! Emilie! Emilie! My brother.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sylvain.
No, no, that's not...
Traveler, Kale, Mr. Sylvain has gone through a huge shock. He needs some space to calm down. Could one of you take him next door?
Of course. Leave it to me.
Thank you both. Mr. Sylvain, let's get you up. We'll take things from here. Just focus on getting some rest. Here, this way.
Poor guy. He's like a shell. He may have made some bad decisions and—
Good person or bad, the death of a loved one is equally all the moments he shared with his brother, every hardship and trial.
If Kiria really was behind this—
Lucien can no longer speak. But the Traveler, I've got things covered here at the scene. I'll leave you to—
Who would have thought? Yesterday's case is... Miss Emilie, I heard you're an experienced forensic doctor.
Oh, I'm not actually a forensic doctor. I just happen to have some— I did take a look, though. Judging by the temperature—
Then, would you mind helping us investigate?
Of course, I appreciate your trust. Many of the traces left behind—
We'll help too. We don't know much.
To tell you the truth, the exhibition has left us quite short-handed.
Pupils are dilated.
And the windows are shut tight too. Well, looks like we've investigated.
So, did you find anything?
Paimon can show you. Here, it'd be something like this.
But entering through the room next door without alerting
No, his reaction to the loss of his brother—
Then, what could have happened last night? I know...
I agree. Also, I've made some new
Mr. Sylvain, I need you to tell me
After Kiria attacked Edgar, we returned to our rooms and decided to lock all the doors. The only door we kept unlocked was the one, but I didn't hear any sort of commotion last night. Not a single noise. I woke up this morning.
So, no movement from the room next door. No signs of a struggle at the scene.
I did notice a few things about the body. Lucien's pupils were— There weren't any traces of liquid in his mouth or nose, so it's unlikely he was forced to—
A goose? No, that's not possible. Inhaling a goose won't kill you. No. That's... Emilie, you ran your tests, didn't you? Go on. Tell everyone whether you found any poison.
No, I didn't find any common toxins.
See? A goose is harmless.
That may be true for most people.
Master!
Edgar? You're up and—
Thanks to Sylvain. No matter how hard you...
Edgar!
Even if we could keep it a secret for another 10... No. He would never get... That's Vijava's real... Yelena wasn't a scholar from Sumeru.
Fatous.
The Fatui.
Ah, so you've already detected.
Oh,
The August flower was created with the
A delusion?
The Fatui, delusions.
born of a delusion. August contained distorted element.
that's enough, Edgar. At first, Yelena wanted to keep refining. It didn't have any effect on ordinary people anyway.
So you decided poisoning people was worth the risk?
Listen, it's not like it was good for business. But all that talk about, unless you were particularly sensitive to elemental energy or had an...
It may be true there are no records of Auguste poisoning, but even if no one was acutely poisoned, willfully bringing a product to market that explains why you were so intent on keeping Yelena in the Fatui, delusions, Auguste. If the Marachase Phantom
Ha! If I'd known coming to Sumeru would put a target... All these years without any sign of Kyria. Auguste was harmless before. The fact that it's...
So there's bad blood between you.
What about Yelena's death? Was that a cover-up too?
I'll admit, we thought about it at one point. We took care to disguise the product circulating on... But if the Marachase Phantom decided to look at... Before we could even put our plan in motion, Yelena...
But if her goal was to destroy evidence, yeah, she could have just burned the flower beds and fled.
I thought about it for a long time. Everything she did. One of the reasons they defected from the Fatui was the deterioration of Yelena's body. Due to her, after arriving in Fontaine, Yelena continued using the delusion.
So she couldn't flee with her brother because she was a...
If her true identity was exposed, the Auguste flower and Yelena's own corroded body. So, in the end, she burnt it all to it.
So the wealth you earned from Auguste, it wasn't destroyed.
Most likely. Before Yelena died, That's why Lucien and I were searching for Kyria. To take back our Mora.
But why is Kyria out for revenge anyway?
I don't think he knew his sister was near. Yelena always wore heavy makeup around him to conceal her
Then all we'll need to do is tell Kyria. I'm not so sure. Even if he knew the truth, he'd still find someone to blame. It's hard to pull yourself out of that kind of hatred.
Very true. Even if Yelena's death was her own.
Edgar!
Think about it, Sylvain. If we hadn't been so blinded by greed, so insistent on if we hadn't invited the Marachase Phantom to our doorstep.
She knew her limits. She knew her days were numbered. We were just trying to earn a bit of Mora. And what, we deserved to die for that? Lucien's crime. Was it... Fine. I've...
3 people from Fontaine, 1 from Snezhnaya. Well, we can only wait until the Academia sends someone to deal with it. With the exhibition, we don't even have space in Port Ormos to...
The hotel could suffice. Although with Sylvain's mental state and my physical...
Mr. Edgar, are you saying...
If Sylvain is to stand trial, then I'd just like to take care of a few things before I go. As for Sylvain, Would you be willing to grant that...
Well, all right. I'll talk to the man we grew to know in Sumeru proved himself to be a good...
You have my thanks, Sheriff.
Happened tonight?
Yeah! All we know is that he uses a goose to poison people. But we still have no idea if he targets Sylvain or Ed...
That may be true. But what if we take advantage of this situation?
Master, no. That's too...
So, if Kyria learns we're being taken away tomorrow, in other words, you want...
Capture? Not necessarily.
Afraid? I'm spending the rest of my life in prison anyway. I can't just sit back and let him... As for the danger...
I'll admit, it could work. We just need... Then I'll station some of my men around the hotel. If we have your...
I still have some reservations. But if you insist on...
I'll also keep watch.
Although I think Sylvain and myself should... If Kyria noticed another person in the room, he might decide to...
You mean if he doesn't see you?
If that were to happen, everyone's standing guard.
That's why everyone else needs to keep to the shadows.
You're still recovering. You need to rest.
This old...
All right, we can figure out a plan to keep...
Have you heard? Mr. Edgar's been detained.
What? He's the one who helped craft all the fragrances for...
He taught my child how to make perfume. How could this happen?
He hasn't been convicted yet.
Oh, everyone on the street is talking about the rumors. Let's head back to the hotel and take a break. Emilie, Chef Xian wants to talk to...
Thank you, Kale. But first, here. I prepared a kind of herbal tea that helps calm the spirit. Why don't you...
Oh, that's...
Oh, it's not good to be so tense.
Was...
You seem very preoccupied with Kyria's revenge.
Oh, Hey, Emilie, Kale. Oh, are we interrupting? No, not at all. This will be easier to talk through with you here, I've just been thinking. If Kyria has the capacity, there was just a single door separating them. When I accompanied Sylvain to his room after Lucien died, maybe Kyria did that on purpose. Maybe he wanted Sylvain to... So did he attack Edgar as a warning then? To scare...
Based on what we've heard about Kyria...
Losing his sister all those years ago. Whenever I get to thinking like that, I just can't help but... I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't think like that.
There's nothing wrong with the way you're feeling. In all my years of cleaning up crime scenes, some of them even try to stop me, begging me not to. Surround yourself with fragrance for too long, and you're sent. So while you hold on to that, do Sylvain and Lucien really deserve to die? Answering those questions requires a lot of time and evidence. While a single act, I've witnessed a lot of deaths in Fontaine. But generally speaking, death...
Once you're consumed by hatred, it will become next to impossible.
You're right. The fact that we can approach these questions from this but that also makes us perfectly positioned to I understand Kyria's decision, but I still want to stop him.
The force...
Emilie, Traveler. Huh? Edgar.
Oh, it's you two! Didn't you head back to your room to rest, Edgar? Is he really okay?
A little. Besides, I don't have much time left in Sumeru.
We could do that for you, Master.
No need. I've grown attached to these. I would imagine Sheriff
The Night Watch! You mentioned...
That's right. I've stationed some of my men around the surrounding area, but we still don't... Exactly. After some discussion, we concluded that Sylvain and Emilie's expertise is sure to come in handy in a pinch. That's why I want you two stationed next to...
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
Not a peep. Has Kyria given up on his revenge? Guess we'll have... Still nothing nothing unusual. Paimon took a peek into the room next door and Sylvain's already sleeping.
Perhaps Kyria's true motive was No, that can't be right. If all he wanted was for Sylvain to be convicted for his true, there must be something we're missing.
Maybe we just need to calm down a little. How about some tea? You're right. Maybe we can look for a different distraction then, like... Oh, there's a glaze lily here. Paimon didn't notice it earlier.
Flowers, glaze... Oh no! Sylvain's room! Quick!
Wait, what?
Hey, did you hear?
It was the older of the merchant.
Yeah, I think his name was Sylvain.
First it was Mr. Edgar, then that merchant named
Listen up, everyone. This is an act of crime.
It's been 3 days and they haven't even caught a glitch.
Do you think it could be the work of an... I mean, how do you get away with something like that with so many people?
Keep it moving, everyone. No loiter.
I suppose.
You don't know that. Kyria already attacked you once.
You were the only reason I managed.
Even if I wasn't there, Tainari was also in the...
Is that so? I have exceptional students. But Kyria has nothing. It really makes you want...
If you really want an answer, I suppose you'll have to ask Kyria himself.
Well, Emilie, there's something else. But so many flowers were transported here for the show. Whether Kyria gets to me first. I know it's a lot to...
Of course, Master.
Really? Now
Sheriff Sham still has some questions for...
Go ahead. Best not to keep him waiting.
I'm sorry, Master.
Wow, another all-nighter. Paimon sure hopes Emily's plan will go well.